Hello and welcome back to the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And you okay?
So, yeah, for anyone listening, I just smacked myself with the
Let's
mic.
get a replay of that on the YouTube.
Slow-mo.
Slow-mo. Jordana hitting herself with the...
wiping my nose on the mic top.
I'm Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on? How you feeling?
I'm good. It's been a nice warm summer so far.
Oh,
Ready
it
to
is
go.
heating up. I got a
Yes.
good film of sweat going.
You are like fully bearded. You walked in today.
Fully bearded.
And I was like, before, sometimes it's scruff or like it's an in-between. Now, you're now in the land of
Well, you did the thing.
full beardy.
Well, I'm a full beardy, and you did the thing that I like. The most amazing part about the beard is people tell you how they feel about you and the beard.
You said that about
right
the mustache.
away. Too. The mustache.
Yes.
And if they say what you did, you don't like the beard, I'm going to go on team anti-beard for Jordana. And I'm okay with it, but let's talk about it. Let's have an open and honest conversation here on the UR podcast.
I think it's interesting that you've chosen to do a beard in the summer.
This has been mentioned by other people as well. Yes, I don't know. I kind of like the summer tan beard. I've been on a deserted island, stuck at sea. That's kind of my vibe right now. Stuck at sea, Jared. That was my Barbie. Castaway Jared.
Right. Yeah, I feel like it's interesting. The beard can mean like one of a few things for a man.
Okay, let's hear it.
One is like the guy is so hot that he like can grow a beard and he doesn't even care how it makes him look because he's so confident in how he looks.
Okay, is that okay? That's choice. Is
choice
that
A.
who I am? Oh, okay, I'll take it.
Could be.
Okay,
well,
yeah.
It's like you don't really give a fuck about like if women think you're looking hot or not.
I do give a fuck.
Oh, you do.
But
okay. I think a beard gives off like I'm not really trying that hard. Do you know what I mean?
That's interesting because to me, yeah. Okay, that's one. To me,
like Jared Leto.
Little Leto-ish, I'll take it.
Is that how you say it? Leto?
Jared Leto, yeah.
Okay.
Jared, okay.
Like he has like weird facial hair and you're kind of like, but he's like beautiful man.
Okay.
So like he doesn't give a fuck.
I don't know where you stand. You weird facial hair, beautiful man. Okay, keep going.
I'm saying I think that's one way. Two is like clinical depression.
That could be it. If people have been listening to this show, they could be weighing in the YouTube comments.
It's a little bit of like the castaway, like I'm kind
losing
of like
it.
Not really have a sense of what's going on. Or three, I don't know. I think a beard can sometimes be like a man's breakup bangs.
Well, bangs would be something that I've thought of a lot.
Is that what you think is where you're going? When you're kind of like ready to start a new chapter and you're you're mixing up your look.
There really isn't that much of a deeper meaning. Okay. Men do things for women to fuck them. It's done.
Even my choice A, where the guys never had an issue getting anyone to fuck him.
I don't think that this like women dress for other women. I believe that. I agree with that. I understand that. Everything a guy does leaving the house is to get him laid. Like I do have that feeling, and it's okay to like disagree with that.
So I'm saying, did that go into your decision?
No. Well, here's what happens. I grew up. The decision wasn't. It's also this kind of like lets you into the male mind of like how decisions are made. Sometimes things are just happening, and then you connect the dots looking back.
Right.
So it's funny to me because if I do notice, like the mustache, if a woman likes a beard, she will tell you right away. They'll go, love the beard. And the people who don't like it do what you do, where they go, beard. Beard. Going with a beard. Like
well, it's like, what if I walked in and my hair was purple?
I would say nothing.
You would say nothing?
I'd go, love I am schooled.
But even you would say, but that means you were a liar because even if you didn't like it,
I'm a total liar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the room to be comfy, cozy. I would ask additional questions. What's with the purple hair? I would say, wow, look at the new hair. Love it. What's going on? It would be followed by the question.
Okay.
I just think it's funny that like from the beard, you find out people think they're smarter than you. Like, like they go, whoa, so what are we doing with the beard? And it's like, all these questions just go down the road to me of sensitive Jared of what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right. Like, is that what I just did?
Is it depression? I do think bangs. To me, I'm just like, I started growing it out and there's a part where it gets itchy. Mm-hmm. And then you get past the point of itchy and you go, I'm here. Like, I don't have to go back through itchy again. If I
Right.
shave again and I want to come back to where I am now, I have to go through the growing pains again.
Yes.
So that's kind of my thinking where I'm like, I'm here. Why don't I stay on this beard island for a second,
Okay.
chill, see how it goes? My mom hates it.
Why?
Hates it.
What does she hate about it?
She's like, well, I think it goes to what you're saying. I don't think of like the messiness of it. Like, oh, you look disheveled. You look
I
like you
don't think
don't
you look
care.
disheveled.
I don't think I do, but I think what you said, like, as far as like guys
Option
who,
2.
option one,
Oh, option 1.
hot guy who doesn't care how out
Right.
of sorts he looks,
Right.
So I don't think of it as out of sorts, even though it does need a trim. Like, I just can't believe how comfortable people are telling you how they truly feel.
Well, it's like if you always had the beard, I don't think anyone would
Of
talk
course
about
not.
it.
Any
But it's a
change.
change. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And I do understand women get a lot of feedback on their looks. I don't think I'm not used to it,
Okay.
feedback on my looks. So,
From anyone besides your own mother.
right. That's the only person I would get feedback from. And I don't think a lot of men get, like, only if you make a change, and men just generally don't change that much. Like, there's no drastic haircut. There's no day at the salon.
Right.
There's no like new outfit stylist going for a new thing. There's no high-waisted, low-waisted jeans.
Facial hair is all you have.
Facial hair is really all you got. So I don't know. And I do notice the one thing I will say: when someone likes it, they love it. So
I see
that
that.
is the one thing that I'm like, I can ride this out, see if we can.
Right. It's
Who
not
I,
for
who,
everyone.
who I can dredge out as a
Well,
beard
you're
woman.
being yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're also, how long are you committing to the beard?
I don't know. That's the thing. I wore it with the hat the other day. My brother's wife called me Tevya.
Fiddler on the Roof?
Fiddler on the Roof, which is not a kink for
I
most
like it.
women. I'm asking the women here.
I like it.
Any Tevya lovers? No. Yeah, I don't. That stung.
Okay, you didn't like that.
No, I
Okay.
don't. Tevya's like a portly Jewish bearded man
Is he portly? I guess it depends on the actor who's playing
who's
him
playing.
in the
I
Broadway
would
show.
cast him as portly.
Sure. Okay.
So that is, you have to get through that a lot. Yeah, Candace just brought up a picture of
We'll
Tevya
put it on the
that
YouTube.
is
Yeah.
gonna make me want to shave immediately.
No. I mean,
Would you fuck that guy?
that guy's married with like 6 Jewish kids.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got a whole farm of kids.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, are you going to bring it to Cannes?
that's my thing. This is the thing. So we're going
We're
to
2
Cannes.
weeks from Cannes.
We are 2 weeks out. I'm very excited. Are you excited?
I'm pumped. Yeah. It's going to be great.
We're gonna do a podcast from Cannes. We have to.
Yes.
I think we should do
I think
a
they'll let us.
full.
They have a recording studio down there.
Oh,
I think,
perfect.
yes.
So I don't have to bring equipment.
I don't think so.
I'll bring my stuff. I bring my stuff on the road.
You just bring your hat. That's all you need to bring.
Well, that's the thing. I like the
guest of
hat
honor.
combo, but it's too much Tevya. I don't know. It's in my head.
It's like Rancher, I think. With the
I have a picture of it on stage that I thought looked good. Let me show this picture. Is this Tevya?
No, that's Yellowstone.
Right.
I think.
Am I on the spectrum of
Tevya,
Tevya to Yellowstone?
You're making it more less
Well,
Jewish.
this one's
That's not a Jewish hat.
We'll post this. This one's a little more Tevya.
That one's something else. I don't know what you would call that one.
This one, I'm gonna send these to Candace to include these on the YouTube.
I hope you send that to them as your headshot.
I'm coming to Cannes.
Yeah.
Me screaming. I very excited. Yeah, I don't know if I want to bring it to Cannes. I don't know if I want to go
The beard.
I
I mean, you could always shave it there if you wear it and then you decide you're not interested.
It's fair. And people will be like, "Who's this?" Coming Monday, one person, Tuesday, another person.
That's the beauty. You can reinvent yourself. You're in
can.
Europe. No
That's
one knows
where
who
I'm
you
gonna.
are.
And last week I got a lot of messages about Lisbon. I'm not coming to Lisbon. Okay, sorry. I got a lot of messages with itineraries, and here's what I would do.
Are you getting nervous about going back to France?
A little. I was a little nervous.
A little PTSD?
I'm less nervous because there's an event.
Yes, you're not going alone.
I'm not going alone. There's things for us to do. There's other Americans. There's business opportunity there.
Yes.
For us.
The best part about traveling abroad is speaking to other people from New York.
Right. That's like it's like my study abroad program.
Exactly.
All Americans.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Are you excited?
I'm pumped. I'm like very excited. I think it's going to be just a very cool event. Also, by the way, I watched your show that you do the voiceovers for. Love
Love
Undercover.
Undercover.
Mike and I have been kind of binging it.
It's a good show. If you want
Well,
to go watch, it's on Peacock right now.
yes.
I'm the narrator for the season.
I have
Love
thoughts.
Undercover. Go ahead.
It's an easy watch. I love the concept because
Yes.
I also would have no idea if someone played professional football, soccer, whatever.
Let
Like
me
if I met
explain
them.
before we get into
Yeah.
it. It's rich soccer players that come to America and are dating American women who think that they're like construction
Construction
workers.
workers, right? Well, they have like a range of jobs, like
Right.
construction worker to like ad sales, which seems like again different.
I kind of like that they had to like learn a persona that these soccer players, you could tell
No idea what
no
they're
interest in reading
in
their
anything.
dossier. They
Yes.
yeah, it's an interesting, it's a cool case study. It's like Joe Millionaire,
Meets like Love Is Blind ish or something. I don't even know.
right?
Yeah.
But and they don't really
Meets like
make
Are You the One?
a little bit. And they're not making a fool of the women. It doesn't feel that way.
No,
It
but
doesn't feel like haha they're poor.
yeah.
You know, like haha they're rich is like an easier sell.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that's better than the other way around.
Right.
I think the idea is really good. The format could use a little work.
I agree.
I think
I'm with you.
it's not really clear like what the stages are. All seems a little random.
It feels like the show starts over 3 different times.
Yeah, it seems like they were planning out the show as they went.
A little bit.
Do you know what I mean?
As someone who was behind the scenes, I
Yeah.
can tell you that the narration came way late in the process. So I got a call being like, "Hey, the producers some of them are from The Bachelor. They know your live stream. They think you'd be a great voice for the show."
You were a great voice for it.
I had a
sure.
great
Yeah.
time doing it. It's cool to have like the American chiming in with these British guys.
Is it weird to make the jokes when you hadn't actually seen what the jokes were talking about?
No, because they would show me a scene, so I didn't even watch it. Like
They'd show you the scene.
they show me the scene, and then they'd be like, "Here's what we wrote for the scene. Here's what we want." And here's the thing: if you know anyone who does voiceover, they have the best job in the world. Like
Seems awesome.
it is. You come in, they go, "You're gonna say this line 4 times. Do it 4 different ways, and then the 5th time, do you boo." So
Fifth time is freestyle.
freestyle.
Okay.
So I don't know what they used of mine or what they used of what they wrote. Sometimes it was written by like, I think it's an Australian production company. So like it would be like Australian lingo. And
Okay.
I'd be like, we don't say that. You
Oh,
know,
that's
like
good. So you also are like consulting.
I was a little consulting.
Yeah.
I'll take my payment, however they want to do it. Yeah, so it was a little bit of that. And but then you go in for an hour, you do an episode, you're like, love undercover. And now the women are coming in. And now the women are coming on in.
Like give you some water.
Give you some water, a coffee.
Wow.
Everyone's like, and they'll do this thing. Like, I've never had this nice of feedback before. I move quick. Tell me what to do. I don't give a fuck. Like,
Right.
I have no ego in this. Like, I'm not a voiceover person.
Right.
There's nothing in the way, which is nice.
You're not Carrie Bradshaw doing her fucking ad.
Right, crying
and
about
just like that.
crying about her dead boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm like, you love undercover, love
Right.
undercover. And then they go, can you just do it like this way? And I'm like, do it more serious. Love undercover. You know, like, and I would do it, and they'd be like, this was so easy. And I'm like, you wonder who's the difficult one.
Maybe like the celebrities are like more annoying about it. The A-list celebrities.
Right.
Sorry.
No offense taken.
I mean, like Will Smith is doing one. Maybe he's like a little more like annoying to them, or that's more of an
Maybe.
ego or an attitude.
Or they're just saying that to like pump my tires. You know,
Could
I
be.
don't know. So, but it was nice. I
Yeah.
like having my tires pumped. So they were
Yeah.
like, this was easy. Great. You're like a natural. Do you do this all the time? I don't know. It's like,
Wow.
it was very nice. Maybe I'm the guy who falls in love with the stripper. Like I'm just an easy.
I mean, you did a good job. I think
It-
you were a good match. for
Yes,
the-
but I agree with you. The show feels like it restarts. Like the format, you're like, get this
Right.
plane off the
It's
ground.
just it's a little unclear like where it's going. in
Right.
The whole,
But I think it's interesting to see these men have to deal with losing what makes them think they're hot.
oh, totally. That's the most interesting part.
Because there's a guy, I think,
Because then it just becomes about who's actually hot.
right, and who actually has a good personality.
Right.
Like it's like, again, being funny for a stripper.
Right.
I'm
Well, it's almost like Love Is Blind for men. You know, like in Love Is Blind with the regular show, like it's more
Mhm.
about the guys finding out if they're still attracted to
That's
the woman
interesting.
when they see them. And usually the woman, like if they're in love with them outside, they're usually kind of fine with it.
Right.
And this is almost like you're taking away the careers, which is like sort of like the looks for men in
Right.
a
I
way.
mean,
Yeah.
and they even say you've stripped us of our armor, of our powers. They say it, the
Sure.
men.
Yeah.
And one of the guys, I think it's Ryan Babel, like he comes out one of the nights dressed in all his like nice clothes. Like he couldn't handle it. They even acknowledge it. They're like, what?
You had to put on a fake watch or
Right,
something.
right. Like, well, then he put on his real watch.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you doing, man? And like he couldn't deal with it. Like,
Right.
so I think that element of it is like a fun case. I think they should do it the other way. I think they should bring like American baseball players to Europe
Yeah.
because who would know who they are, or like hockey players, So
That's a good, yeah. Well, you just gave them season two. It's unpaid
make me a
consultant.
writer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy. Like, I've gotten a lot of positive things
Yeah.
from it, which is nice.
Interesting concept for sure. It's like an easy watch. I'm kind of intrigued to know what happens. I
Well,
guess you already know.
I do relate a little bit of it of like, I'm starting to doing this long enough. I've been doing comedy for 14 years. If I didn't, saying I'm a comedian is a lot of like who I am and
Right. If
how
you
I
strip
like.
that, what would you be like?
Right.
Right.
What would I say? I'd just be like a funny, like not even fun. Or would it be easier because someone's like, well, you haven't been funny yet? Like,
Well, I
would I
think that all
meet
of that
people?
goes into who you are. It's funny, like the idea of like taking away these things as if they don't impact other aspects of your personality, as if
Absolutely.
it's like a bubble of like these
Right.
different, like, you know what I mean? Like it all, people take all of it into consideration: your personality, your looks, your job,
Right.
like all those things affect the other things. They're not like standalone.
Well, that's the other thing with like, when you date someone who you might feel like is holding back. Like
Mhm.
I've been on dates with people where you're like, I'm not getting all the information here.
Right.
And it's like, well, how real can we get? Like I don't know the all of you. Like I don't
You're only
know.
showing me the parts of you that you maybe like want me to see.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think we do that a lot on the first few dates, but like,
I think women do that more than men, maybe also too. And I think there's maybe that's a generalization, but I do think in dating, there's usually one person that's like, I'm not going to show you that like more intimate side of myself until
right,
it's sort of like a chicken or the egg thing, where it's
right.
like, I want to know that you're committed and I feel safe with you before I show you who I actually am. Whereas
Yeah, but then you
for other
go,
people, the other person, it's like, well, I don't even, how am I going to make you feel safe and like I'm committed if I don't know who you actually are?
right. Why should this not, why should I care about this if I don't
Mhm.
know the real you?
Right, but I get it from the other side too, where it's like, I'm scared to show you the real me unless I feel safe.
Right. I don't know. From my perspective, it's like,
I think the older you get though, the more you realize that like you should just be more vulnerable and go there because like that's the only way to really find out if it's real
right.
earlier.
Yeah. Like, I mean, a lot of these guys, I'm sure they could tell quite a tale. I, it is interesting the male aspect of it. Like, I think if a guy, him being rich, of course, that's like a cherry on top. But like, and I'm making this about the soccer players, but it could be about anyone. But it's like, if you don't say, well, I started at 16 and I've been a prodigy and everyone treated me a certain way. And then I've been paid to play soccer since I've been 16 years
Right. You're
old.
not
And
showing anyone who you really are.
right. And
Yeah.
then I could understand how a woman would go, I'm so into this guy because he's been vulnerable about how his life has been different and hard in another way. You know what I mean? So you've taken away that ability.
Mhm.
And it's like, I see that from like, dates I'm on where I'm like, I don't really need the front. I'd rather the mess.
Right.
And I know that the
But
mess,
sometimes you're turned off by the mess, I'm sure.
of course,
Right.
a lot of messes I don't want to clean up.
What messes are you
Some
interested
messes I
in?
want to like lie in and get in the mess with them. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
I think that's just connection. I don't
Yeah,
think
I guess.
that's
Well,
a
I think
judgment on someone's
well, I
mess.
think that's what you learn the older and more mature you get is like you're going to need to find someone who likes your imperfections
Right.
or at least doesn't mind them.
I think it's hard as a person who does want to open up and opens up to then feel like I think that there's another side to it where you're being rude by opening up too much.
Who is?
Like
Like
I think if you're like show all your mess, you're like someone on the other side of that could go, well, they've been so personal with me. We must be so far ahead of where we are.
mhm.
It's like
Right.
meeting the family.
Yeah.
Meeting my family doesn't
Well, it
matter to me.
depends what
Showing you
matters.
my mess doesn't matter to me, but I'll open up to anyone. I guess that's where we get into like manipulation and like love bombing.
Right.
Some people would call that love bombing, I guess.
Well, it takes a lot of confidence to be who you truly are, to show someone your mess.
Right. And sometimes you're with someone, sometimes you date someone, you're like, I don't even feel like I'm who I am right now. Like I don't feel
You're
like I'm
not
my
being
my true
yourself. Yeah.
self.
Yeah, no, totally.
Some people release that from you. Some people make you become your more real self.
Yeah. But I think that doesn't necessarily happen immediately. Sometimes it does.
Right.
Sometimes it's like you get to a certain point and then most again, I've said this before. I think there's certain things you can hide about yourself on a first date.
Of course. Yeah, right.
Like
Right.
it's just a matter of the
You
speed that you're getting there.
right. But you can I guess like I've hid things about myself on a first date. Hid things, but like,
Like
the
not it's not a
the
hit
general things.
right. You're not
Not like the
going to the bathroom with the door open on the first date.
third date,
Here's my mess.
that
Yeah.
door is wide open. What are we talking about today?
Well, do you have dates?
I got dates. Please, if you're out there in New Orleans or Dallas, please come to a show. Please. Look at this beard. I'm depressed.
Please help him. It's going to be hot down there.
It's going to be hot. New Orleans and Dallas this week. If you're listening right now, there's a Sunday special.
Yeah, and we
I
got
forgot we're in a Sunday special, and we got so New Orleans and Dallas and Nashville. Those are the three that are coming up, other than Cannes and the Sahara.
Yeah, if you're going to be at
Con,
whatever the fuck it is.
right?
If you're going to be there,
Soft.
come see us at our panel. It's on June 18th.
Bring the radishes.
Exactly.
Get ready. I'm going to talk some shit
I
on
want
that panel.
radishes thrown at us on stage. Throw your radishes.
Sahara.
Yes.
It is so much fun and douchey to tell people that you're going to the south of France.
There's nothing better.
Nothing is better.
Yes.
Where are you going? Well, I got Nice coming
I
up.
have a work trip.
Work
to
trip
Cannes.
to Cannes. Look at us.
Fucking asshole.
We
Yeah.
made it.
Sorry, I can't go on that second date. I'm gonna be in Cannes.
Gonna be in Cannes.
I
I can not go on the second date because I will be.
I expect you to break up with three or more people with that line.
Taking this can to Cannes.
And we got another wedding invitation.
The mailbox is full. We're
We're gonna be out of town. We're gonna
be out of town.
We're gonna be in Europe.
Sorry.
But thank
we'll be
you
in the south of France.
to Rachel and AJ.
Rachel and AJ.
Great pick.
They look fantastic. It's a date. AJ. You don't put the full name?
What do you think? It's like an Anthony Jr. or something?
Oh, is that what it is?
It is. That's what it is on The Sopranos.
Anthony Jr.
Could be. Could be something else.
Are you a full name person, Michael, or do you go Mike?
I go Mike. But
Mike?
sometimes I've said Michael.
So, okay, not to judge.
Yeah.
Fully judging.
I mean, AJ is a different than I.
Right. AJ rings young. The wedding of AJ and Rachel, formal invitation to follow, and that's the formal invitation.
Yeah,
they wrote us a note.
It's in Madison, Wisconsin.
Beautiful.
Sure,
One of the most beautiful places in the world.
Especially.
Oh my God. Good for them.
And
What hotel? Hold on. Don't say it out, or maybe say it out loud. I don't care. Is it the nice one?
It's at the Monona Terrace rooftop. I like in the invitation it says together with their families, which is what Mike and I did, which is what you do when you have dysfunctional families.
Oh,
or it's like more for me when I have a dysfunctional family.
Right. So like instead of like the daughter of so and so and so and so, they do from the families
right.
of.
I'm like, I'm not fucking around with like that wording and everyone's opinion on that.
Right. From the makers of Fucked Up Family.
Right.
Right.
Please join us we're not going to even get into this.
These people.
Michael and Jordana.
They wrote us a note. Should we read it?
Their note says, Dear J&J, I have been meaning to write to you for a while. I got your help back in 2019, and I've been an avid listener from the beginning. You guys always give me something to look forward to Tuesdays and Saturdays. She's a subscriber. Love it.
Of course, the nice hotel. She's got dough.
We're a friend. Love it. We're a friends to lovers, or technically the rare friends with benefits to lovers. Wow.
Ooh, AJ, you dog.
You got it. Well, the joke's on him.
Right.
Yeah.
Got him.
My one night stand turned into a COVID companion. I got to know him personally too fast, bringing many icks and causing me to tell everyone there's no way we'll ever date.
Oh,
Oh,
here's
here's the
our
Our Story
story,
page.
right? It can't be us.
Turns out icks can be outweighed as you get to know someone. It couldn't have done it without you.
Icks become quarks with someone you want to fuck.
That's true.
That's it.
There you go.
Congratulations to you two. We wish you the best. We're so happy that we could be a part of your story in any small way. Also, shout out to um, Seeing Other People. It's another podcast, another dating podcast. Alana Dunn got married to Jake, who I think we were mentioned in the vows.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know?
They sent me you could tell they were like high on love, you know, like, and Alana's great.
We or you?
It might have been me. I'm giving credits to both of us.
Okay.
But I think I hope Jake has been like a long time like follower of mine and podcasts, and I'm sure he listens to this show too. And I guess there was mention in the vows, and then I got I could tell it was coming from the airport on the way to the honeymoon. Okay. Where they're like basking in the post
you're on their little
wedding high, and they're like, we should just message Jared. And I got a message that was very sweet and nice. And so congratulations to them getting married. Little shout out.
Were you invited to the wedding?
Still waiting on that invitation.
Well, wedding's over. I don't know what's going.
Would have liked to have heard my name during the vows, our names.
I know, right?
So
hopefully, I mean, we'll see if it was our. I have a feeling it was just yours. Let's see.
No, I think we got a shout out.
Yes.
There was shout outs to be had.
All right, let's jump right in.
Let's jump right in. This is a Sunday special.
Yes.
So we're already.
I think we've used all our topics of conversation up for our other 2 episodes.
Well, usually we tape the normal episode, then the Sunday episode. We're taping this Wednesday before Sunday, so this is like
fresh,
hot off the press, right? And we haven't seen each other
in a couple weeks.
How was San Francisco? We'll do that on the next one.
We'll do that on the next one.
Let's get right in.
We got a lot of time.
We're on wedding talk because this Petty or Prudent.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'll read it. Hi, J&J. Am I overreacting? My sister-in-law, my husband's sister, just asked me if we can share a wedding anniversary. For context, she's having her legal papers wedding in a few weeks, but wants to have her actual wedding with friends and family months later on me and my husband's anniversary.
What the fuck is that? I'm sorry. These people, I'm already annoyed
I
at this
knew you were going to get really mad.
Legal papers? This whole thing, like as an outsider of the wedding game,
like
we're actually married because we went to the court. I don't give a fuck. Whatever's on the invitation is the fucking wedding anniversary. Not this was the day we went to the court. They do that at every wedding. You know, we're actually married already. And I'm supposed to sit there. Oh, that's so crazy.
You're like,
this is all fake. No, this is the fucking wedding.
Are you okay?
I'm so mad at this. Every bride does this. We're already married. Don't tell anyone.
You know, there's like
you're not a fucking virgin too.
There's the trope of the bride having a mental breakdown. You should be like the trope of the person hearing the bridal drama having a mental breakdown. You like counter her mental breakdown with your own mental breakdown.
Well, this is the opinion I would have if I could be my true self at the wedding.
Right.
Like if some bride came up to me and was like, "Can you believe we were already married?" Actually, I'd go, "Shut the fuck up." No one gives a fuck about you going to the court and having your parents sit there and you sign the thing. We get it. This is
no one cares.
Before.
We don't even want to be here. Could have been golfing.
You made us come to St. Louis. No, okay.
I
had a great time. My
brother and your sister-in-law are going to kill you. Okay. My husband and I got married on December 27th. A very obscure wedding date, if you ask me, which is partially why we chose it. Because we liked how no one gets married 2 days after Christmas, and it felt intimate and special. We also had 2 weddings.
I know what side I'm on. Already. I haven't even read this shit.
I'm surprised she wrote this in knowing you were going to weigh in.
A special obscure date? Our kid's name is Apple. That's what this sounds like. My sister-in-law wants to name her kid Apple too.
I hope you wind up married to someone
like this.
Yes.
Honestly, you know what's interesting? Like, I've talked so much shit in the dating verse. I've talked shit about every hypothetical future wife of mine.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's not one person
that could get away with
that I have not already said I wouldn't date. Like, the teacher thing, the speech pathologist thing.
That's true.
That
I've come for everyone.
I've come for everyone.
There's 3 people left in New York City.
I can't live
That
by
hit
my own
those
rules anymore.
requirements.
Right.
Yeah.
I get so much shit. I have college friends who are like, dude, you're making a joke about yourself. I'm like, every joke is making fun of me.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Right. You're punching vertically. You're
Me.
punching horizontally.
Right up my own fucking shit.
Okay. So
December 27th, no one gets married on that date. What the fuck story is she telling herself? I
I'd
want
say
the delusion of a bride. I want to eat it. I want to put it in a spoon.
this person should really send this to her future sister-in-law because it's going to be very validating for her.
So yeah,
We also had 2 weddings, a small wedding in my hometown and a larger wedding 1 year later where my husband's family lives on 1228 with more friends and family. We exchanged
2
rings.
weddings, this bitch.
We exchanged rings. You're getting madder and madder. We exchanged rings on 1228 too. So technically our anniversary is 1227, but 1228 still holds significance as it is a bit more formal and traditional.
Imagine being this husband. You got a whole week of shit you have to remember.
My husband's from another country and we included their traditions in it. So he's from another country. She probably told her that was like a standard.
1227 is the real date, but 1228 is the date that I farted for the first time in front of his mom.
Whereas the wedding on 1227 the year prior was much more casual and small, only about 25 people. I'll emphasize that yes.
Imagine you're one of the 25. You're one of the 25 people who has to go to all 17 of these weddings.
Yeah.
Those are the people I feel were the most sorry for.
Do you just give one gift in that case? I think so. One gift for 3 weddings.
One gift. I'm looking to the production team here. One gift. Yeah. Shannon doesn't even want to give any gifts. I would give her. I would literally. My gift to this person would be a therapy appointment.
A better health gift card.
Right. You need fucking help.
I wonder if they make gift cards. That'd be smart. I will emphasize that yes, our anniversary is 1227, but 1228 we exchanged rings and had a more typical wedding, not just a random judge and then dinner like the first wedding, and it's still special. Okay, this person is writing into the wrong show here.
I know. I don't know who they expected
to see this. Yeah,
Patty.
So we don't even need to finish it. So my sister-in-law wants to get married on 1228, and she asked me if we can share an anniversary, but pointed out at the same time that it's not really my anniversary because we actually got married on 1227.
Let me give a lot of credit to the sister-in-law. She knew she had a pain in the fucking ass in her family.
Totally.
And approached this person. This is the thing. The emailer, thank you for writing in. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for trusting us with your issue. I love that you wrote in because we're the only ones that are honest with you. Like this sister-in-law.
No one else will tell you this.
No one will tell you.
Her husband's certainly not going to say it.
This sister-in-law is treating her like a toddler.
Yeah.
Already. I know your date isn't the 27th, and we might want to share.
Okay.
I can't imagine asking anyone for permission to get married on a specific date.
It'd be what I can ask them to get married on the day that they're getting married.
Right.
That seems fair. You get maybe a weekend.
Yeah. Yours is Saturday.
One weekend.
I was thinking this Sunday. Right.
I think you get the weekend. I think it's fine.
Right.
If you told your brother that you wanted to get married on the Sunday after his wedding, I could see him having an issue.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
That's what I'm saying.
But if it was
a year
17 years later, and I'm like, hey, we're planning on doing your date, like, I would say, and if he came to me and was like, hey, man, that's our date, I would go, are you out of your fucking mind?
Agreed. So what do you think? Petty to say no or prudent? I'll add 2. This is all being planned super last minute. I'm not sure why they're in a rush since they're legally getting married in a few weeks. So why not wait a full calendar year like we did and take the time to plan it?
Because they want to fuck with you. That's right. This is all about you. They want to fuck with you. They want to scoop up your date so that you'll have to fucking share it with them. What does she think they want to do? They want to get married.
It just seems so strange to me. You can literally get married whenever you want. Why are you forcing your family to fly to Europe to get married in 6 months on your brother's anniversary? All right. So I think I think the audience has a sense for how we might feel on this one. I haven't seen you this worked up in a bit.
I felt really good coming into tape today. I have to say, I was all like, I worked out this morning.
Pegs, yeah.
This took me out.
I
don't know if I could ever.
She sounds extremely annoying.
I would love to meet her, and I want her to say, I heard what you said. Thank you. Like, I think she would thank me, maybe.
I don't think she'll thank you. I have a feeling.
How do you feel about this? I'm sorry. I'm taking up a lot of that.
I think here's the thing about anniversaries. No one gives a shit about your anniversary but you.
Right.
It's not. I think it's actually ruder of her to have gotten married during the week between Christmas and New Year's than it is to get married on someone else's wedding date.
I agree.
No one wants to go to a wedding then. They want to go on vacation.
Actually, that's why her sister-in-law is a great person. Hey, want to go to Europe on the week you already have off?
Yes.
Like plan your trip or don't. That's why they're in a rush. We want to go to Europe on the date that people will have vacation time and might want to come spend time with us in Europe.
Yeah. I
Thank you, sister-in-law. I know which house I'm going to on
Do you
Thanksgiving.
want to marry the sister-in-law? Is
I'll
the brother
take her.
still
No, I have to fucking deal with this other
Yeah, you wanna
emailer
marry
who I
into this
love.
family.
Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Yeah. No, I think here's the thing. I think you get a weekend. I just said that. You get a weekend.
Right. Your weekend.
Your weekend. You don't get the date in perpetuity. No one cares about your anniversary. In fact, you're going on vacation for your anniversary. That's fun.
Listen,
you're going to Europe.
I don't want to air grievances here on the podcast.
You?
I don't like to do it. I don't like to make a stink. I don't like Ruthie. My parents' anniversary was a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Ruthie texted my brother's new wife, texted the family group chat, happy anniversary, like first thing in the morning. Ahead of us. What the
Wow.
fuck? Man,
Overachiever.
and also, I didn't know it was. I was like, oh, I guess it is.
How did she know? I don't know when
She
my
must have pop-ups. She's really on top of it.
I don't know when my in-laws' anniversary
You have no
is.
idea?
No, I don't. I mean, they probably mentioned. I don't know. I don't think I'm supposed to celebrate that.
No, it's not. Well, this was my dad's bit growing up.
Right.
Mother's Day, he would go, my mom would be like, where's my card? And he would go, you're not my mom. That was his bit. He thought it was hilarious.
I mean, it's kind of funny.
It is funny. And it is true.
That's fair. Yeah. Oh, so I'm sure didn't she get him anything on Father's Day?
Yeah, because that's what she does. You know, like that's,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think, especially for these I don't think every father needs a text on Father's Day. I don't think every mother needs a text.
Right.
You do your own mother, your own
Right.
father, maybe your spouse if you're not your parents. And wedding anniversaries, again, only matter to you.
Right. So you petty bitch.
Have you wished anyone a happy anniversary
No.
besides the person you were dating?
No. Even
If
them.
that.
Let's do an email.
Let's do it.
All right. uup@betches.com. How do I tell my single mom that's not how dating works in 2024? Well, have her listen to the podcast. I mean, this is a great
Just
gift.
keep playing it in front of her.
Right.
Until she asks
Put it on
you
the
what
card.
you're trying to say.
That's the email. We're done. Oh, okay. I'm writing, saw you in Denver. Absolutely love the show and the Kimo Sabe hat. I wore it on stage at the Cellar last week.
How'd it go over?
You know, comedians are known to like be caring and not make fun of you when you wear something different. So it was totally
Get
normal.
some comments?
I love Judy Gold. She's hilarious comic. She's a legendary comic, in the comedy world. Judy comes right up to me. She's like, "You're not going to wear that hat on stage, are you?"
Wow.
Like, immediately. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't. I was like, thanks. Need it for the confidence boost.
Well, I guess, there's one place you could expect honesty. It would be the Comedy Cellar.
You'll get it right away. I had people putting, a circle. They wrote it with chalk on the table. You can write in chalk on the table. They made a circle and they wrote reserved for Jared Fried's hat.
That's good.
So that was funny. Yeah, people really give you shit.
Does it have its own seat on the plane?
This is the problem with traveling with it. Like I have to.
Do you have a hot box?
Some people have suggested a clip. You clip it to your bag.
Interesting. That's
Can
real.
you imagine if I showed up to Cannes with a clipped
Clipped
hat.
hat.
Her and my dad. I'm writing to you in regards to my mom as I'm having a hard time giving her advice on dating. Her and my dad got a divorce about 3 years ago. My parents are super different. My dad is easygoing, relaxed, and submissive. My mom wore the pants. She's loud, the life of the party, super fun. Borderline just kind of unhinged. Maybe like Jared's mom. Okay, easy. Let's not get too comfy. My dad
You don't know her.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my mom. My dad made a humble living as a teacher while my mom was the breadwinner with a very successful small business. 2 years out of the marriage, my mom started dating again, mostly through the apps. It seems like she's on the apps with an income requirement because she'll tell me how she is super excited about some guy who is a doctor, lives on a lake, etc. A contrast from my dad's humble means. Man, I hope this dad doesn't listen to the podcast. This is an interesting
I
way to write this.
yeah. I mean, it sounds like she's being honest.
This is a
Yeah.
very honest email. I like it.
Oh, he.
Oh, it's a son. Okay.
Okay.
While I don't love this requirement, well, it does matter that it's the son.
Yeah.
He's kind of hearing
There's in our defense, there's nothing in this email which indicates that a man wrote it, and it's usually a woman.
right, and but I also say like the son
Yeah.
pointing this out, like
Yeah.
I don't know,
I can see how that would annoy him more than
then the daughter.
yeah, if
I'm noticing
to
it.
me it sounds like if my dad just kept talking about like how hot a woman was, I'd be like,
All these fat asses.
right. I'd be like, all right,
Okay,
dad,
enough.
relax.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Well, and also how your mom looks at you as a son.
Right.
You know?
No, it's true.
Well, I don't love this requirement. A part of me understands. She wants someone well off because I think she is super tired of the struggle of mostly providing for everyone else. That's a very empathetic look at it, and I agree with it. After 2 or 3 dates with these guys, she'll get stuck on one or two things, like how he's 5'5", or he walks kind of funny, or in the more extreme cases, he's kind of a jerk. Then she moves on to the next guy. This has led to a revolving door for about a year now, and she complains about loneliness. I have said to her, why don't you just date someone, establish a relationship, and see how it goes? Now he's the parent. She says that she ultimately hasn't found someone that she's interested in enough to make things official. What should my advice to be? What should my advice to her be? I'm torn between telling her to keep looking to find an awesome person, and two, telling her to battle the icks, maybe lower the standards a bit, like dating guys that perhaps aren't super wealthy, and try someone out long term. What do you think? I love this email
It's a good email.
because it's relatable. You know, the reveal of the Golden Bachelor is that age doesn't matter.
Right.
Everyone's going through the similar mindset. This is a mom. It could be about a daughter. It could be about a son. And this is a son who's in the position of advice giving, where it's like, you know, where they're like, well, lower your standards.
It makes you think about, I feel like the way that a parent would usually maybe talk to a kid.
Right.
Right. Or it's, how maybe some parents see their single son or daughter and how they would talk to them
Listen,
or
how
want to talk
I've
to
been
them. Yeah.
spoken to. I've been in things where my parents go, what's wrong with you? Keep
Right.
going. I think you've said it to me too. Like, see how
What's-
it
yeah.
feels. Play it out. You've encouraged me to do that as a
Right. You're
friend.
you're cutting things too soon.
Right.
Maybe.
You're cutting
Yeah.
things too soon. And I think what people in relationships who are secure in their relationships forget is that initial jolt you had when things started, especially parents.
Yeah.
I think my parents are like, I like her. I like him. We get along. What more do you need?
Right.
And I think they forget, like, that, like, I know that I don't know my parents' story of meeting too well, but I know my dad met my mom in a bar. Like, that didn't just happen because she fell in his lap. There was excitement, there was
Right.
pursuit, there was the cool thing that you talk about later on that makes you. So I
Right.
think to me, from my perspective, the son needs to like kind of
Let them.
let the kid cry, let
Well,
the
it must be
baby cry
but
itself
you're
out.
right. But you're also not saying to your parents like I'm lonely.
Right.
So it's tough, I think, when you
That's
hear
hard.
both things side by side of like, one, I'm lonely, I'd like to be with someone, and two, you see them sort of like maybe being too picky in your eyes or something like
Right.
that. I also think I agree with what you're saying about like the age doesn't really matter, but I
Mm,
also think that at different times in your life, you're looking for different things.
right.
Or you might be, right? Like maybe for her, I don't know. For maybe for some older divorced moms, looks wouldn't be as much of a thing. They're just kind of like I want like a companion or a friend or someone, to hang out with on a Saturday night.
Right.
Um that maybe you wouldn't prioritize if you were 26 looking for a relationship.
That's fair. But again, like you said, you can't say you can't.
Settle for this person that you're not physically attracted to. Yeah.
Right, like, I don't think she just wants to sit with she wants to sit with someone on a Saturday night, but she doesn't want to sit with anyone on a
Right.
Saturday night.
Yeah,
And
but
I agree I'm as single Jared, I'm on Mama Bear's side. I kind of like and maybe
but I
she
have to but
needs.
it I also I think puts him in a weird position.
Right. No, you're
I could
right.
be on you could be on her side, but also I think like if you're gonna say that to your son, but then that's what I'm saying. That difference is you wouldn't say to your parents, I'm so lonely. If you did, they might be like, why don't you give this more of a chance? Because you seem
Right.
to be unhappy.
Can't have everything.
Right. It's almost kind of feels like a capitalist like a people kind of wind up where they want to be thing, right? Like if
Mhm.
you were lonely enough, then you might give someone who's a little off of your uh height standards a try.
Right. And I
Maybe.
do think this is also her being 1 year in the game. I
Right.
think you do this, she's 3 years divorced, probably 1 year into really being ready, if I'm to make assumptions from this email,
Yeah.
to, like, date and take people seriously. I would assume in a divorce, especially with kids who are adult enough to listen to this podcast, like, that is quite a life change.
Right.
So
And you haven't been on a date probably in years. Yeah.
right, and kind of the fun of dating is the ick complaints and the, "Oh, he's 5'5". Getting to be, you know, da being single is really kind of an asshole. Like, you get to be as judgy as you'll ever be.
Right.
You get to be this person who's like, because it's like, I think the low moments of dating for me personally is, who am I? Like,
Mhm.
why should I deserve to search for anything
Well, you're looking for a match for you, not
that
like the
right,
ideal person.
right, but who am I to even
Reject someone?
reject someone?
Right.
And I think for her, there's probably that self-doubt in her.
Right.
And
Well, what advice would you tell? Because I think I think he's also put in an annoying position though by
I think
her.
he needs to tell her, when you say I'm lonely, it makes me really sad. I think it's not about, because I would feel sad.
Yeah.
If my mom said I feel lonely, I would be like, I would be devastated.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, fuck.
Well, that's what I'm
Like,
saying. And then, but so if your mom said I feel lonely, and at the same time she's saying like she's seemingly rejecting good prospects for minor reasons, I
right.
can see where you're like, well, I don't know what to do with that.
Well, I would let her know that, like, but you do want your mom to be able to open up to you. You do
Right.
want, so there's that. It's tough because
That's what I'm saying.
what would you say?
I
I
think
mean,
he's put in like a tough position. I think what I would say is, what are you looking for, like from this stage of your life in the next person that you're with? Like what are your like priorities?
right.
Because I think
What
I mean, and
let's make a list
and
type
we've
of
said
thing.
this before. I've said this like many like a year ago probably, like I think you're allowed two things that you could be superficial about.
I think that's a great thing to, like, go back to her with.
Right. Like,
Like,
okay, you want someone rich, fine.
fine,
That's your thing.
good for
Whatever.
you.
You want someone, she's the 5'5". You want someone tall, fine.
Rich
Those are
and
your thing.
tall.
You're allowed to reject people because there's not one of those things, but you can't pick 10 things
Right.
and
Those are the
expect
two
me to feel
rejections that I'll
that
accept.
right, that I'll accept while also feeling bad for you if you're saying I'm super lonely.
Right. And I just don't want to hear, like, if I'm him, I don't want to hear you're lonely on a Saturday night. Can I have a night? like, like, tell me on a Sunday so I could, like, come over and, like, hang out with you.
Right.
Like, I'm out there too. Have your parents ever confided in you like this?
About being lonely.
Yeah.
My dad loves being single. There's nothing. He's
Just loves it.
absolutely loves it. Hasn't been in a serious relationship since my parents' divorce 30 year 25 years ago.
Is it that he loves being out with different women, or is it
No,
that he loves the freedom
he
of,
loves that
like,
no one is telling him
what to
what
do?
to do
Yeah.
or like on his case or like trying to ruin his life. Um
Well, that's kind of the
yeah. And I love when my mom is with someone for this very same reason. She is a much less miserable version of herself when she
right.
is when
Right.
my mom is happy, I'm happy because she's like not
On
annoying me.
you, and
Yeah.
she's not on your
Yes. So I
case.
love nothing more than when my mom is married and in a relationship
Right. And you
and
just want your mom to be, like, busy
yes. And also again that so that she could like find someone else to
to
uh
rag on.
yes. That no, it's totally true. When my mom is single, she's like there's certain people like that too where they're
Right.
like when they're single, they become like the most annoying version of themselves because all of that energy that they have that they would normally put into someone is taken out on you.
It's in because, like, when I call my parents, they're always busy and they have nothing to do.
What are
And
they doing?
pickleball, golf,
That's
dinners, you
great.
won't. And I'm like, thank
And they have each
goodness.
other.
Your dad's doing this, your mom's doing this. Tell her she's a piece of shit. Tell him he's a piece of shit. Like, that's the language I use. They don't say that to me. I don't want people to be like, your dad calls your mom a piece. No, he doesn't. Yeah, I'm like, I feel very thankful they're busy.
Yeah. No, I think
Like,
that's
but
part of
I'm like, what a
well,
blessing.
that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
lucky.
It would be in a it would be tough to hear that your parent is lonely.
Oh my
And
God.
then also not feel like you should say, give this person a try.
Right. And I also like, it's hard to like have to go through the ups and downs of someone's dating life
Right.
with them. Like just any
Mhm.
emotion. Like if I don't call my parents, I had a date tonight. It was wonderful. She's 5'5", makes a ton of money. Like I,
Well, the other thing also about being out of a divorce, right, at that age is you're kind of probably learning like where you stand in the market,
is
which I
how
think
people
is
feel about
a
you.
whole other if you've been married since you're like 27, let's say,
Hmm.
and you get divorced at 60, 55,
Right.
you were also spending that year. You probably spent the last 10 years of your marriage thinking about all the things that you'd want in a better partner because you don't just get divorced overnight, right? So she's probably been thinking about how like annoying it is that her husband doesn't make enough money and that he's this
Right.
and that. So she's like, as soon as I get out of here, that's what I'm gonna find, right?
And then
And then she gets out and she's like, oh, I didn't even think about how anyone would see me in the market of dating. I think that's
right.
another like big part of it.
That
Like you don't have a sense of where you get a sense of where you stand in the dating market by dating and seeing who rejects you.
I've called it girlfriend confidence, where
Right.
guy friends of mine who got girlfriends, I haven't talked about this in a long time. I would call it wife confidence, husband confidence, where you're dreaming of
All the
all
people who
the
are going to be throwing themselves at
right,
you.
because you have
Right.
someone at home who tells you how great you are, and then the minute they're gone, you have to see what it really is out there. Yeah.
Right. That's when you put it to the test
And the money thing, it's funny. The money thing is like, I'm thinking of it now, like Gary, the Golden Bachelor, like there was a lot of people saying that he married
for money.
for money,
Yeah.
that she was had some
I mean,
money, and and
much like the soccer players, I don't think you can take money out of the equation
you can't.
completely.
And well, people, especially my parents' age, when I would talk to them about the Golden Bachelor, they were like, "Listen, there's a lot of that later in life, of like finding someone who can do things
Yeah.
physically, monetarily. So like, I want to be able to go to Italy.
I get it.
I get it.
Or
There's
like, yeah, and I think a lot of women have this too, especially if they're like high earners and they get divorced,
right,
where you hear about this and then they're kind of like, um, I don't want to like bring someone around I want to travel the world, but I don't want to pay for me and someone else. Like I
right,
want them to at least be able to pull their own weight.
yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. This is hard. And I do think it's relatable to any age,
Yeah, but I also
but
think it has its own
it
like
has you're right.
nuances of a certain age and era and like I do think there's a thing when you've been in a long-term relationship for a while that you are dreaming about all the people that you can get with no
So
evidence of
that's why
where
probably the
you
loneliness hits her a
stand.
little bit harder.
Totally, because there's probably a vision or like an emotional masturbation. It was like, as soon as I get rid of this loser, I'm gonna be with the guy I really deserve.
Right. Well, I think the easiest way for him to talk to his mom is to play this for her, which would be funny to like hear it played out.
Yeah,
It's nice that you love your mom and dad. It seems like this guy's like likes his family and
and wants
wants
them to be
them to be
happy. Yeah,
happy. So
he's not trying to get his parents back together.
no, this isn't his parent trap moment. Um, yeah, I think it sucks. I mean, I think the two things would help.
Which two things?
You can complain about two things about
Oh,
these guys. I
yes,
don't want to hear them all.
right.
Mom, you go on a date with a guy, they better be rich, they better be tall.
I mean, especially like if you know what I mean. Like if you're like your standards are higher than mine and I'm younger than you.
Right?
Like,
Who do you think you are,
what?
mom? You
I
old
mean,
bag?
there might be a sense of that. So you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
He says it. I mean, like, listen, his speech at the end, maybe lower the standards a bit. It sounds like sounds like every speech every single person has ever gotten,
or
when they're like,
or
but I've
or
never,
don't lower the standards and like
and be a little happier when you're
yeah and
alone.
enjoy and because again
Get
it's
some
like
fucking friends.
everyone has their own tolerance for being alone and
Right.
like the lower your tolerance is the more you accept.
Listen, this is why I'm getting into golf. So that I'll
There
have
you
something
go.
to do. All right. We did it. We solved dating again
We did it. We'll be back
in a
next
tight
week.
55 minutes for our Sunday special.
You guys got your unpaid money's worth.
Hey, well, if you're still listening right now, share the podcast. Share it. Make your Instagram story. Comment. Here are ways you can pay us. And you probably already turned it off.
If you're a subscriber, that's one.
You've done it. Good job.
Okay.
If you're not, comment on YouTube. Comment on Apple Podcasts. comments. We love a comment on the Instagram. Candace is running the Instagram. Weigh in. We love the weigh in.
Yes. Tell us what you think, mostly if it's kind, but even if it's not. All right.
Thoughtfully.
Yes.
That's it for us.
Bye. The You Up podcast is produced by Candace Maniga and Shannon Sassone. Editing by Jorge Morales-Pico and Shannon Sassone. Social media by Candace Maniga. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.